And, how important is it to kind of get right information out there and, having the ability to maybe even just face-to-face tell them the correct information?
It's huge. It's huge. And I think it comes with the education. You can't give somebody that you don't have. You gotta have it within you. So I think it's coming back from people. What I think we need to see a lot more of is people like myself, people that have been through it, been there, done that, gone to the trenches, come up, rose from the ashes, and then are making an impact in today's world. Today I'm very successful at what I do. It's because I have the determination, and I wanted it more than anything to get healthy, to get clean, and to make this work.
Now, this is not something that, there's an automatic cure for. It's something that you struggle with every day, day in and day out. And, how's that for you to be able to find a focus and to be able to improve yourself and have goals and kind of push yourself to be a better person, with the stigma of this addiction with you?
I never used to tell people. I was always, I have a new book coming out, and my book unidentifies where I've been, what happened to me, where I ended up going, and, I think I was scared for so many years because people's perception has always been like, you're this, and they treat you differently. But I think now with more awareness and with more people wanting it to we got to figure this out. Here's the problem. I think people, they're at the end of the ropes. They see hundreds of homeless people laying on the streets. Hundreds. And it's like, what is this about? Well, dude, it's mental illness, it's addiction, alcoholism. It's a big deal. So we need to do something. So I think people are finally starting, their mindset is starting to open up a little bit, saying, what can we do? Is there anything we can do to help? So they're open now to programs like this and wanting more information to be out to help. I think it's not just one thing too. We have a lot. I work really closely with the Salvation Army. Salvation Army is doing a great thing about it. They're helping our homeless vets, helping people in addiction with their program. You go in for a 6-month program.
The panel talked a lot about the idea of there can't be just one solution to this because there's got to almost be a targeted approach to it. You having him flipped houses. Sometimes that you have, every house is different. Everything has its quirks, and there's a different solution for everything as well. Try to go into that and the fact that, you recovering from your addiction, might be a little bit different than somebody next to you, and and there's that stat that they said 7% that we're able to survive with an addiction. How's that for you? To be able to take a look at that, and where do you see the future in terms of that? Treatment and addiction and all that as well. Are we going to be developing more advanced techniques in the future?
Yeah, I'm hoping. I think it's got to be a collective effort. I think not just one, like you said, not just one fix. I think it's all parties working together. This is a war. We're at war. It's not even epidemic anymore. It's pandemic. It's horrible. If you can get, if a young kid or a kid, anybody, a human, can go and get heroin easier than they can buy cigarettes, that's a problem. A huge problem. So I think that public awareness is a really good thing, and I think working together collectively with these groups that want to do something about it and bringing public awareness and education is going to be the key to it right there.
Yeah, basically, almost, as they say, an ounce of prevention equals a pound of cure, basically. Mm-hmm. And, these young people, like I said, they have all this source of information that sometimes misinformation, sometimes it's, made up on the spot because they don't know any answers or that as well. How is it that nowadays, that message can be brought out a lot better than maybe what it was back in the 80s? They talked a little bit about the Just Say No campaign, and it was it seemed like a good idea at the time. I don't think the message was really driven home as much as it is now.
Well, I don't think it was really known at the time. I think, the parents, I think the Just Say No program, it was the heart, Reagan's heart was in the right place. I'm not saying it wasn't. But I think that, like they identified today, it's a brain. It's a mechanism in your brain, and we're identifying it. just saying no is not going to stop you from eating that cake. Like they were talking about. It's not. So I think having it more aware, like, and dealing it with from a lot of different perspectives, like the pharmaceutical perspective, also, counseling, longer term and follow-up care is huge. And I think that's where we miss it. I think it's re-educating the insurance system. I think it's re-educating our government to know, like, hey, look, we can't just throw a 30-day program at somebody and say, okay, you're cured and move on. I think that maybe works for maybe less than 1%. So with that being said, I think that's something we still need to address, and I think it's something that still needs to be worked on.
They also talk about family, and how that is a huge determining factor in terms of somebody during recovery as well, and them actually getting educated and them getting therapy as well, because it might be something not just rooted in the person themselves, but in their family dynamic or something like that. I mean, just seeing that portion of it kind of educated and all that as well. I mean, is that something that you kind of personally had, that helped you out when you're trying to recover?
No, my dad used to throw checks at me and throw money at me and say, well, you're okay. You just need money to help you fix problems. So that's what happened to me. It was just throw money at me. So all I did was go buy more drugs. And it was like, okay. I mean, I'd go and I'd bullshit him and go in there and say, like, oh, yeah, hey, I just need if you just, give me some money. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, let me write you a check. I think it's all about education. It's like we don't throw money we don't throw family, especially, you don't throw money at the situation. It's like throwing good money to bad. It doesn't work. All you're doing is you're enabling them to do that. So I think families should want to be involved in regards to, even if they're not addicts themselves, they'd be involved like an Al-Anon, something that's going to help them to learn not to be enablers.
Yeah, like I said, the event is this weekend. I mean, just to have so many people that are advocates for addiction and mental health here, being able to discuss what the solutions are for the future. Mm-hmm. And the Seigels, who've done a really good job here, organizing the event, being a part of the, hopefully will be part of what the future is in terms of counseling and addiction support as well. I mean, how is it for you to be able to see a lot of these people around here, have their ideas and, basically, share thoughts and kind of look towards the future of what's going on in terms of therapy and, getting over addiction?
I think it's awesome. I think we need to do more of this. I'd like to see this room about 10 times the size with more people involved and more people doing it. I think as we see this grow, we'll see that. You'll see it grow. You'll see more people involved.
Now, off the subject, sure. Obviously, it's kind of interesting because I kind of looked at, I've probably went from one edge of the valley to the other as well. I mean, the development of Vegas is really crazy. I mean, we're seeing really different kind of developments from the Northwest all the way down to Henderson. I mean, how's the market here in terms of the real estate, and how are you looking at how are you looking at the future of it? Obviously, there's a lot of things going on. The new Raider stadium's coming in. We're getting a lot more new hotels. How is the real estate market here in Vegas, and how do you think the future is going to be in the next couple of years?
I think it's great. I own some houses out here. I invested out here years ago. I love it. I love it. Personally, I love the Henderson area. I love what they're doing in the downtown area. I think it's, you got to look at it this way. What's happening, I live in California, but with all the rules, regulations, fees, it's made it so hard to live and to work. There's no way, you're going to get, the cost of, between workers' comp, the cost of living, what I pay an employee and the workers' comp on top of insurance, it kind of prices me. You get people of remodel price and they think you're crazy. You're like, we don't want you to build a new house. I said, well, you don't understand. I'm paying these guys legitimately, and it's costing me lots and lots of money. So that's what it costed in today's world to do business in California. So I think industry is like, I chase industry is what I do. Uh-huh. So what I started doing back in 2010 is I do a lot of investments out here in northern Nevada and southern Nevada, Vegas side, and Reno side. I do houses, I do flips, name it, I do it all out there. I do very well out there.
Yeah, Yeah, the regulation, I think, is killing the market. I mean, I hear Adam Carolla complaining about that all the time on his show, but, it's kind of interesting, just like you said, to see the kind of where the market's going here and development of, people, it used to be that the fact that they come down here to Vegas to gamble, or the gamblers are here right now, but it seems like nowadays the people that want to live down here, not necessarily because they want to go to the Strip or go to casinos all the time. It's basically because the weather is really, really nice down here, and the fact that it's starting to develop. There's always been a stigma with Vegas being kind of Sin City, all this stuff. But now a lot of people are coming in, just wanting to have a nice place down here to be able to, either come down here for the winter time from up north, or just simply move here just because they want to have a nice place here.
Yeah. You want to, here's the deal. You in California, I buy and flip all the time. I just finished a condo, a little 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot condo. I paid $600,000 for it. I mean, I put $50,000 in. No, I get $725, somewhere in that neighborhood. But it's a starter home. I mean, who's going to be able to afford I'm surprised. Yeah. $725,000 or $50,000. I mean, that's like both parents working. I mean, and that's not time spending with your children and you're doing things, that you do. But
the idea of living, being able to have, a nice life here. I mean, and the price of houses are decent here versus California, and
you get twice the house for twice the money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
half the money. Sorry.
It's crazy to be able to see some of the shows and just see that if they say they price a house maybe at $500,000 in one place and it's $250,000 in another, so it's kind of crazy to kind of think about that as well. So
it is.
It is. I mean, anything coming up with you at all?
Working on some new shows. I've been working creating a couple new shows. I've got one I'm working on about rebuilding Hometown America, which is about the rebuild of city of San Bernardino from the kids help. We'll put it that way. Can't say much more about it than that. It's gonna be great, and you're gonna see it a movement, and it's related to kind of everything with housing and about taking back a community that was kind of left for dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting just to see, we have all these small towns that are, people who are moving cities, and it seems like those small towns are starting to die. So it'd be nice to see,
just like I do with a house. It's like flipping a house, but flipping a whole city as my approach. So I love cities that are like that are dead, and so it's been a passion of mine to put things to it. So I've been working with the mayor. I've been working with a bunch of top people, and I can't say more than that. I'll get my tongue cut out, but it's going to be good. Stay tuned for it.
Yeah, I'll look forward to it. We'll have to talk about that when more information comes to light as well. So,
okay.
Where can they follow you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at Steve Cederquist, on Facebook, Steve Cederquist, and on Twitter at Cederquist Steve.
Okay.
Steve Cederquist was already taken, so I had to go first. But thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, thank you. No problem.
Coming up on Thursday, which is Halloween, we have two guests that are all about October. First of all, we have actress Chloe Perrin, who has got 2 horror movies coming out with several different Oscar winners. We'll be talking to her about her young and striving career. Also, in honor of the Blind Awareness Month in October, we'll be talking to Roy Samuelson, who will talk a little bit about his work as a voice actor and a voice descriptor, and how his work is not only translating for the blind, but for those of us who also listen on our way to work, at work, and in our spare time. You guys can catch us out on social media at SWIV on Twitter, and our new Instagram page at SWIV Podcast. That's at SWIV Podcast. And of course, you can always listen to the shows over on Facebook as well, iTunes and iHeartRadio, over on Amazon's Alexa. So you guys definitely check that out as well. Coming up Thursday, we'll have another episode. We'll be doing these bi-weekly. We're catching up with a lot of guests that are coming up as well. Please check out our social media for more. And like I said, we'll be at live events throughout the year. And you guys can check out our Instagram to see where we're at. here and somewhere in Vegas. With that in mind, we'll talk to you guys on Thursday.